Hello folks, I would like to do another UFO video, and this I will call A Tale of Two UFOs, because these two reports couldn't be any different from each other in terms of quality. Not dissing anybody in particular. Hey, if you think you saw something, that's a thing, but gotta rule out all, pretty much everything. Some, let's just say, not all UFO stories are created equal, shall we? Okay. So this is from this gal took a video aboard a plane on the way to Poland, and ended up catching a hot pink UFO, and you'll see why I think it's not exactly realistic, So why don't I just play that here? Here we have just a normal video. Oh, there's our UFO, quote unquote, right? Okay. So part of the interesting thing is that the news article headline says "whizzes past," and this is actually caught at two different points of the video, and it just looks like a reflection from something going on inside the cabin. It's at two different points, and some might be like, "Oh, it's following them." Bro, I mean, could be something that's actually like that flicker seems to indicate some sort of light, maybe an LED source. That's usually the result of a jewel thief voltage regulator that's putting out just enough pulse DC voltage in the LED to appear as if it's solid, but it's not. And then on video, it's captured because there's a certain frame rate. But yeah, this or maybe that was that thing itself was pink, or the reflection is bending the light. I know that the airplane windows are curved, so it could be a different color, slightly different color. It's being bent as pink. But yeah, and the fact that there's no reaction, by the way, while this is happening, is just a typical, video, and then they quote unquote find this afterward, so that's just, I'm not convinced, looking at the aftermath here. Flight from Luton, England to Sismeny, Poland. She snapped what she thought was just a video of the stunning view out the window and put her phone away. I couldn't see anything with my bare eyes. So yeah, it's interesting. That's how a lot of these things result. But I would call this like a camera artifact or a reflection or something like that. And whizzed by or buzzed past, those are pretty unrealistic. Pretty typical New York Post. Oh, Murdoch. Now there's other stuff going on here. The other one I wanted to show you for comparison is a little bit, it sort of looks like a balloon, but there's a few things here that are not balloon-like. Also the proximity to the thing, and that it actually has a physical body. It's out there in the environment. It seems to be moving around a little bit. He says stationary, but you can see it moving relative to other stuff in the shot. So let's see this. This is near, it's in the Mojave Desert. It says black obsidian or a UFO. Now it shows up as a silver ball in the frame, but he said this had a black quality to it. Now, do you see how this is sort of it would seem that it's changing orientation, declination, altitude, and you could think this is a balloon. Could be a balloon. He was saying that there was some warp effects around it, though. He said it seemed like some sort of heat effect, like a Mirage effect coming off of it. Now, if I saw that, I'd be pretty weirded out. I'm not sure if it's the result of the changing foreground, but it does seem to be changing altitude slightly in some ways. This guy says that he then he went inside and came back out and it was gone. See how it's kind of seems like it's moving around after he stops. See, like stops and it actually does some moving, which doesn't seem very balloon-like to me. He was saying that there's no tether visualized. You couldn't see a tether. It's not all right. So this was near El Mirage, and there's actually been a few things witnessed near here. I mean, the Mojave is a hot spot. Oops. Andy Segobia, 52, driving to work at El Mirage airfield. So there's Vandenberg air. I think not Vandenberg, but there's a few air bases near here, and some military bases that could corroborate this. Now, other stuff has been seen near here. He was doing building maintenance work for General Atomics, a military contractor that makes the MQ-9 Reaper drone. Now, UFOs buzzing and checking out military bases or contractors is not uncommon, and actually they're seen near the Hartford site where they were refining plutonium before the place. Before they were creating the plutonium, when they were breaking ground on the site, there's a lot of debate about what they could have been looking at. If there's a they there, that might have encouraged that. So there's the guy. He's working on building stuff there. He's a general contractor. Yeah. Saw it up close. There was only a fence and a little piece of dirt dividing us. It was off their property in the middle of the desert. I don't know what it was doing there. Struck me as odd because it was floating there off the property. Very quiet out there in the middle of nowhere. It's a clear day. So there's metadata in the video that can verify that it was taken at that site at that time. And so that shows winds of about 7 miles per hour blowing south. Now, it didn't seem like it was moving in the wind, right? And that's another common thing for these things. When they're odd, they resist wind speeds. If it was a balloon, it would tend to go with that, wouldn't it? And so there's that. And it's just a really interesting result, but it's even more interesting because a little bit further away from that, where did I have it? Yeah, that's very close to where this video and this sighting by I think some Marines during a training exercise that was released by George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell in 29 Palms, California, also out there in the Mojave Desert, not too far from there. So the area is pretty well known. So you have some context background there. This one was seen by 50 eyewitnesses at the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center in 29 Palms. So if you want to see how close those are, there's 29 Palms, and here is El Mirage. And they're practically spitting distance, right? Very close to each other. Right, so here's the 29 Palms. Here's El Mirage. Fun stuff. Okay, well, that's it for now. We'll keep you posted.